Hi there, Stan the Annuity Man, America's annuity agent, licensed in all 50 states and Puerto Rico. How about that? Everybody in my office in Las Vegas, big palatial new office. They're also licensed in all 50 states, but they're not on commission. I am the pioneer of what I call contractual guarantees only, CGO, and that's how we look at annuities, only looking at the contractual guarantees only of the policy. Today's question is a weird one, which is, do you have to pay local taxes on annuities? You know, distributions from annuities. Gosh, the tax question keeps coming up, and I'm going to address it, but it doesn't live in my head rent-free, and I do not want it to live in your head rent-free. We'll talk about it after this. So paying local taxes on annuities. When I read the topic, and you know, I have smart people around me that choose the topics and think they're timely and think that Stan the Annuity Man needs to weigh in. I'm not like writing these down. These are topics that come up and people want to know about it. First thing I thought about was New York City. Like, the answer is to the broader question is no, you don't have to pay local taxes. You know, there are some state taxes, that obviously federal taxes at ordinary income levels, but I'm thinking to myself, you know, if this question gets popular, you're going to have some mayors and governors think, well, yeah, you know, we probably should charge taxes on those rich people that have annuities. And I'm not political. I could care less about either party. I'm contractual. So there's a difference. I should run, Dr. V behind the camera, I should run for office under the contractual party. Contractual guarantees only, and then say, hey, you already love, you know, the best contractual guaranteed annuity on the planet, Social Security, because it adjusts for inflation. But what I want to talk about is just taxes in general and annuities. You know, first of all, do not take any tax advice from anyone other than a CPA or a tax lawyer, or if there's a registered investment advisor that has gone through some classes and got certification as a CPA on a CFA or something like that, or a CFP, to give tax advice. In other words, they have to be qualified to give tax advice, okay? Johnny Appleseed, agent down the street, doesn't give tax advice. Even moi, top agent in the country, doesn't give tax advice. I can give you 30,000-foot view and then point you to that. But in this case, you know, you might want to check with your CPA and see if, you know, that big city has some kind of rich annuity clause in there. I think it's funny that, I think that's going to happen eventually because we're $39 trillion in debt. There's not enough people to confiscate the money from. They're going to try, and it might be you and it might be me, but there's not a bunch of us that has done it right, scrimped and saved, put money away, threaded the needle, and then here we are, and then all of a sudden you have people saying, that's not fair. I heard one the other day that was crazy on this subject. I'm not a huge fan of Roth IRAs, but if you have paid the upfront taxes to qualify yourself for a Roth IRA, great. But then I heard someone else, it was a politician, say, it's not fair people have Roth IRAs. I'm going, oh my gosh, talk about leaving a part of the sentence out. Not fair that they paid all the upfront taxes to get it to be a Roth. Not fair that there's a break-even point that they've got to reach for that, all those taxes that were paid to make it a Roth to make sense. No, this politician was like, well, that's just not fair. That's where we're headed, okay? So this question, in a broader sense, needs to be addressed as, okay, we're going to have to follow the rules with taxes, okay, which we always do and we always tell people to do, and you're going to do that with your CPA and tax lawyer, or you know, CFP that has a tax, you know, has something in their certification where they can talk to you about taxes. The point is, I don't think there's a safe place to hide. I really don't. When politicians are talking about Roth IRAs not being fair, you've already paid the upfront taxes, okay? But are they going to maybe change it or means test it? Wouldn't surprise me. I hope that everyone that has it is grandfathered in, but I'd be careful out there. We're 39 trillion in debt and counting. And some people, that's the building in New York. If you walk by and you're drinking your cup of coffee and you see the debt compounding, that's a sobering thing, man. I'm telling you, that's tough. But local taxes on annuities, no, no. But yeah, you're going to pay taxes, sometimes on the state level, definitely on the federal level, depending on your state. But again, tax questions are for tax qualified advisors, CPAs, tax lawyers, CFPs, okay? Go to them, ask them that question. But with annuities, don't be leading with, oh, is this taxable? No, be leading with, what am I trying to solve for? The two questions: what do you want the money to contractually do? When do you want those contractual guarantees to start? And then from those two questions, interact with us. Go to my site at theannuityman.com, schedule a free consultation, email me personally, stan@theannuityman.com, and we will guide you to where you need to be, or we'll say you don't need an annuity. It doesn't work for you. Or we'll work in conjunction with your CFP, your CPA, your tax lawyer to make sure that you're dotting every I and crossing every T. But what I don't want you to do is live with the IRS and taxes in the back of your head. Don't have your life dictated by tax law. Have your life dictated by your lifestyle and the income floor, maybe using annuities, that puts that in place so you can go live your life. Because remember, we're all going to end up at the same place, drooling on ourselves and crapping our pants. I mean, I'm not going to tiptoe around that. And don't say, well, that depends. Exactly, that's what you'll be wearing. Depends. All right? I think I blew up the guy behind the camera, Dr. V. Actually, that came up in a conversation. The guy's like, well, that depends, Stan. I'm like, you're exactly right. That is the leading brand of diapers that you're going to wear. Enjoy the money now. It's not about taxes. It's about you. It's not about the IRS. It's about Chapter 2. Otherwise, it's about poo. Man, that's just rap heaven right there. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, do me a favor. Above me, and I'm pointing to the sky. I'm right there. See it? Clock's ticking. There's a video on lifetime income and how it's priced, and the reason that I think it's a bargain right now. And I really declared this year as the year of lifetime income because you need to lock it in. If you're thinking about it, lock it in now, because artificial intelligence is going to change the game and lengthen out life expectancies and lower the payments. Lock it in now. Watch that video. Go to my site. Hope to hear from you soon. My name is Stan the Annuity Man. See you next time.